of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
To throw again on second down, Jackson. And now he's going to use his legs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Looked at me like the adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
He's going to take off with it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens get a bit closer. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them?
I was going to ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Steven Sims now on the return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Takes over first and 10. At their own.
Adrian Peterson heading back out with his Washington teammates. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards it.
He's got a man And complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Haskins. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the night.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Dwayne Haskins hooking up with Terry McLaurin. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well, and they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
2nd and 10. So we reach halftime, and what's been... There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go.
6. Dustin Hopkins to kick off for
the Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the kicking team.
So they take the deficit into the lockers. You know they had plans to receive the football. A nice drive, instead a fumble on the kickoff.
And that can be demoralizing right there because, as you pointed out, they had designs on coming out and, okay, we're going to change things here in the second half. Instead, with a deficit already, they cough it up, and now they've got to find a way to keep the score from mounting bigger against them.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
That penalty is declined.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Here's Haskins out of the gun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Dwayne Haskins hooking up with Terry McLaurin. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Dustin Hopkins to kick off for Washington.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Room to run at the 50. Justice Hill. And they are not going to catch him. He's in.
Justice Hill. Touchdown, Ravens.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Taken about 7 yards deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Haskins. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Patrick Queen came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Marlon Humphrey. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capital.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Thomas Davis showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak, no running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Chase Young in there to drop him. It sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
3rd and goal. Jackson being chased out left. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line.
Intercepted by Washington.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Haskins and the Washington offense going to come up here 1st and 10 at the 20. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. From the gun, it's Haskins. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off.
Chuck Clark. Haskins.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception. Really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 16-yard line.
Here's Jackson on the move to his left. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
Out to his left. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points.
That makes this Washington 35.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Adrian Peterson.
Keep running, man.
Touchdown, Washington. Adrian Peterson, 74 yards. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Dustin Hopkins to kick off for Washington.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Taken in the end zone.
Justice Hill on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. It appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the 40.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Big yardage that time for Washington. 59 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Peterson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Adrian Peterson still with a nose for that end zone, scoring from a yard out. And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Jackson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And it's a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. 1st down, here's a run with Peterson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Taken down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
3rd down. Here's Haskins escaping the pressure right. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign.
And it'll be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Haskins pass.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Check 56. Silver. 56 Mike.
To throw again. Jackson eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
56, right there, 56.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably is... He thinks about angling.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Fumble on the play.
And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
He was brought down by...
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Haskins going to try to throw it. Flush to his right. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. Now Haskins. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard
The
line.
Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Jackson on the keeper. Fumble on the play. Recovered by Washington.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up first and 10 at the 45. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down and then some inside. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
Today's finals, Washington.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys